Okay, good morning and good afternoon, grade 11, and welcome to our lesson number 3. And for our lesson number 2, we are going to talk about the qualitative research. Okay, so this topic is going to be essential for you because, first and foremost, you have to do a qualitative research paper in this year. Okay, so before proceeding to that, allow me to present the lesson objectives that we have for this day. So at the end of the lesson, you have to describe the characteristics, strengths, weaknesses, and kinds of qualitative research. Also, you have to design a qualitative research of your own. Okay, this is to complete the template that you are doing, that you are currently doing. Okay, so to formally begin our lesson for today, allow me to ask if you are familiar with this person. Usually, we are seeing him in some of the memes, right? In Facebook, ganyan. But actually, he is Will Smith. And he is the one who characterized or plays the role of a genie in the movie Aladdin. So, you might know, but I'm a prince too. So, I have here a short clip wherein one US-based program asked or held an interview with Will Smith. Kindly watch this video.
Yeah, that kid's gonna make it. Whatever he decides to do, he's gonna make it.
Oh yeah. I stayed up late last night writing a lot of higher level questions for you, Will.
Yes.
And then I realized I don't need to because I've outsourced all of my questions to tiny little kids. But just remember, you're not allowed to skip past any of these questions because if you don't want to answer, it means you hate children. Let's get absolutely no pressure whatsoever. So let's get the first question from Abby.
Let's go.
My name is Abby and I'm 7 years old. I am from Devon. My favourite thing is Disney's Aladdin. This is the question that I would like to ask Will Smith. What is it like squishing into a little lamp? Bye.
It's interesting, Abby, actually getting into the lamp. What happens inside of the lamp, it actually expands into the full size of a room. That's part of the genie magic.
What's going on in the lamp? A little apartment there?
Yeah, little apartment vibes, and and the inside of the lamp changes to your feelings. So when you're nice and you're being kind and you're being polite to people, then the lamp expands on the inside. That's the important part to know, Abby. It's like, being nice and being kind to people makes your lamp bigger.
Oh, I feel like my lamp wouldn't be very nice.
Yeah.
This next question is from Will.
Take 14.
Take 14.
Hi, Will Smith. I'm also called Will, but before you ask, I'm definitely more awesome than you. I'm 11 and I love trampolining. I've been doing it for 7 years.
Wow.
I also really like listening to your music, especially Summertime in Miami.
Wow.
If you had to spend the rest of your life listening to one song, what would it be? Summertime or Miami?
That kid's gonna make it. Whatever he decides to do, he's gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
Listen to one
Non-stop.
forever. I think I would go with Miami. There's an energy to that song and an energy to that city, and it's one of my favorite.
I also think Miami you can listen to all year round.
You know what? Maybe in the winter you'd want to listen to Summertime, because you're right. There, I can tell by your face that it was about. I was trying to go with.
Nah, I think it's wrong. Miami, even if it's raining,
even if it's raining,
Miami on.
You're thinking, and that I like that about what you're doing. I'm feeling you.
Always thinking, Will. And now a question from Poppy.
Hi Will, my name's Poppy and I'm 7 on Tuesday and I would love to ride in a magic carpet. My question is, dun dun dun, who would win in a fight, Agent J or the genie? Thanks Will, bye!
Wow.
I might start introing all my questions with that, by the way.
I know.
Dun, dun, dun. So much suspense.
I don't know where you're finding these kids, but there's like a winter school somewhere. Like, all of these kids are going to succeed
they're
in
the future.
life. So here's the thing. The genie can't act on his own.
Ah, loophole.
So it would probably mean that Agent J released the genie, which means the genie is subservient to Agent J. I think Agent J would ultimately win.
I think we just came up with your next film, Will.
Yeah, that would be deep.
And 10% because they
Yeah,
sort of came
because
up with
that's
the
where
idea.
that's where
as
the
well.
idea came up.
They know what it did. Questions now from Zach and Ida, who are twins.
Hi, my name's Zach. I'm 10 years old. This is my twin sister Ida. I'm 10 years old.
10.
He's 10 years old too.
Usually how twins work.
Also, what was your favourite episode of The Fresh Prince?
Ooh.
Because I love Fresh Prince. And I like Fresh Prince, WWE, and just being silly and doing YouTube videos.
Okay, you got a little bit distracted
Love
there
it.
towards the end.
That's
Just
it.
started
No. He brought it
listing
home.
things
No, he brought it home.
liked.
I don't know if there's a single episode. There are a couple of scenes in it with the father.
It was great seeing you, son.
The
Iconic.
famous scene with the father. Yeah.
You too.
In terms of something that lasted with me and with others, I would say the father scene.
How come you don't want me, man? I don't know if you remember as well, but Zach's twin sister also had a question.
Okay.
And my question for Will is, why did you want to be Soy, Genie, and Aladdin?
There's singing, there's rapping, there's action sequences, and the movie is great. You know, sometimes you give all of that and you have all of that fun, and it still comes out as Wild Wild West. You know, but
I don't have time for this.
You're allowed one stinker.
Everybody's allowed
You're allowed one Wild Wild
allowed
West.
one. I might have 2 or 3 in there.
We saved the toughest till last.
Yep.
Here's Ollie.
Hi Will, my name's Ollie and I'm 9.
Ollie.
When you were working with other actors, did they smell really bad? And if so, did you tell them?
There were quite a few smelly actor situations on the set. On all disclosure, you know, I was smelly sometimes. You know, so actors, we allow one another to be smelly as a part of the craft.
You never
know?
say anything though. Like
Yeah.
for example, if you had a little like that in the cave.
You know, you'd have to say, you know, get that out.
Yeah.
But if someone smells, you just gotta let them smell, you know, because it's sight and sound in movies. So let's say we had a scene, you know, like we had to hug and it was like, hey, Dad, what's up? And we do this, boom, and then I get hit
Get
with
a
the
whiff.
because I'm right there and I get hit with it, right? It's my job as an actor to just use it. I use it in the scene. Yeah, you ignore
Use it, if
You
anything.
use it. You
Yeah.
use it. You know.
I'm
it's
so
like-
glad I showered this morning.
Yeah,
by the
you
way, as
know,
well.
because
You were
the
quite
thing
close
is,
to staying. Like,
I know you stink, and I know you stink, you know, and we in the scene we know, but the audience will never know. So that's the important part. It's like the audience is first.
I love that. Will, thank you so much. Do you know that at any one time there's an episode of Fresh Prince playing somewhere in the world?
at all times. That's kind of cool, right?
I just made that up. But it
Yeah,
sounds like it could be. It sounds like it could be real,
but you said it firmly. I was like, whoa, that's a dubious fact. But you
I
know,
feel like you
but
should
I let you
start
have it. I let you have it.
You should start telling people that. I was like, just drop that at dinner parties.
So based on the video, one thing is for sure. The theme or the general concept of the video talks about what we call curiosity. Question is, have you ever been that before, on that stage before, class, wherein when we are exposed to different life circumstances, we tend to ask elderly or our parents, to be specific. Okay, so generally the video talks about children's curiosity and being natural in asking questions. Okay, so that video is significant to these statements. So as a children, it is said that as a children and sometimes as a student or you as a student, it is innate or natural to us to explore things about our surroundings. So meaning to say that it is said that it is natural to us to explore things about our environment, about our surroundings, also about people. So once you say about people, so there are circumstances in life wherein you're going to ask why my classmate A behaves like this in comparison to my classmate B. Because nga, yun, it's natural to us that we are exploring or we are formulating questions into our mind. Okay? Also, different places, different things that you actually find interesting, intriguing, and mysterious or unique. So, whenever we are interested, whenever we are intrigued, or in Tagalog, nagtataka tayo para tayo gusto natin makichismis. Whenever a certain circumstance is mysterious o nakakakot ng attention ko, and unique at bago, we tend to ask or explore things about it. So moreover, according to a training study entitled Children's Question Asking and Curiosity, the researchers concluded that there are positive relationship between children's curiosity and the range of questions being asked. So there are positive relationships that are happening in these two variables or factors. Okay? Suggesting that the more curious the children ask more questions, are better able to use questions to solve simple problems. Meaning to say that this study found out that whenever a children ask questions, these questions will enable him or her to solve problems that might arise sooner or later. Okay? Moreover, and are better the same people, or this we're talking about people who are children who are naturally curious about things, okay, are better at discriminating between helpful and not helpful questions. Meaning to say that these students or children who are curious, who tend to ask questions, are those who are good in segregating what are the essential questions to ask and what are those who are not. And one thing is for sure, there are positive correlation or relationship between children's curiosity and the questions that they are asking, or they are significant to one another. Okay? Moreover, if a person is interested in knowing people's idea, like for example, if I am interested to how you behave as a student, and I'm interested in your ideas, in your views in life or perspective, in your feelings, kung ano nararamdaman ninyo, in your attitude, most probably, and lifestyle, the solicited information or the data that I'm going to gather will give them or will give me the idea of the other person's mental, spiritual, emotional, or social upbringing, thus show how they view the world. Meaning to say, if I'm interested to you as my student, to you, to your personal attitude, to your personal lifestyle, the solicited information that I'm going to solicit will enable me to know your mental capacity, your spiritual upbringings, your emotional state, your social class. Okay? Thus, or therefore, it will show me how you as a person view life in general. Okay? And that's the nature of the what we call qualitative research. The question is, sir, what's the qualitative research? So this type of research, the qualitative research, puts premium or significance or high value on people's thinking or point of view conditioned by his or her personal traits. Meaning to say that qualitative research merely deals with thinking, with people's thinking, with people's perspective of life, with people's opinion, with people's point of view that was conditioned by their personal traits, like behavior and, let's say, tera. Okay, moreover, it usually take place in soft sciences or fields that are under soft sciences. So once you say soft sciences class, soft sciences are fields that are non-theoretical at some point. Examples are linguistic sciences or political sciences, communication, cultural studies, education, and the likes. So those are the what we call soft sciences, and that's the nature of qualitative research. It talks about these fields or field of studies. So at this juncture, let us have a clear distinction of the what we call hard sciences and soft sciences. Okay, so when we say hard sciences, it happens in quantitative research. Okay, you are not allowed to do quantitative research because you're going to do quantitative research in your grade 12. Okay? So hard sciences are fields that are theoretical by nature, and their focus is inquiry of cause and effect relationship. Meaning to say that a quantitative research merely deals and identify the cause and effect relationships of one theory to another. So that's the concept of quantitative research. However, our focus is qualitative research. So once you say qualitative research, as what we just said, it is soft science. Okay, so the field under this are the soft sciences like language and etc. So our focus is for us to have an in-depth description of people or events, data collected. Meaning to say that at the end of the research, we must have an in-depth o mas malalim na description on why you behave like this, why in general people's perspective or point of view. That's the purpose of qualitative research. Okay, so moreover, qualitative research also has what we call the idea of subjectivity. So once you say subjectivity, class, is generally conceptualized as the way research is influenced by the perspective, values, social experience, and viewpoint of the research. Meaning to say that qualitative research also gives importance to the perspective, values, point of views, social experiences of the researcher. Meaning to say your experience as a person is also significant or will also play a significant role. Okay? That's what we call subjectivity. Subjectivity in qualitative methodology, moreover, the researcher is encouraged to reflect on the values and objectives he brings to his research and how this affect the research project. As what we just said, subjectivity in qualitative research means that you as a researcher may also give your own point of view towards the objective of your research paper. Other researchers are also encouraged to reflect on the values that any particular investigator utilizes. Okay, so that's the unique part of the what we call qualitative research. Okay, so there are different types of a qualitative research class. So number one is the what we call case study. So what is case study? So the characteristics or two of the characteristics of a case study is that it facilitates an in-depth exploration of a phenomenon or a certain case within its context, okay, and using different data sources. Also, this involves a long-time study of a person, group, organization, or situation. That's going to be his kumbaga, his Waterloo. Okay, because it involves a long time study. You might not it is considering such idea, it is quite ideal, it is quite impossible for us to do some case study. Moreover, case study, this type of qualitative research usually takes place in the field of social care, nursing, psychology, education, and etc. Okay, also rehabilitation centers. Okay, so this involves a long time study of a person. As I have said, it seeks to find answers to why such thing occurs to the subject. Okay, meaning to say that you're going to have an in-depth analysis of why this particular situation happens to this subject or to this person or to this group of people. Okay, finding the reasons behind such occurrence drives you to also delve into relationship of people related to the care under study. So that's the what we call case study. Usually case study took place in places like rehabilitation centers, like in our locality in Maribeles, right? So why do people are having such problems, parang ganon. So it is quite it is sort of related to that. Okay, also The second type of qualitative research is what we call ethnography. So once you say ethnography, so the characteristic of an ethnography is that it is the study of particular cultural group to get a clear understanding of its organizational setup, internal operation, and lifestyle. So once you say ethnography, you're going to study a particular cultural group like ITAS, mga minority groups that we have here in the Philippines, to get a clear understanding about how they behave, what are their beliefs, what are their internal operations, and what are their lifestyle in general. So that's what we call ethnography. Okay. So the third type of qualitative research that you may use in making your own is what we call phenomenology. So phenomenology is a type of qualitative research that comes from the word phenomenon. So once you say phenomenon class, it is something that we can perceive using our five senses. So the characteristic of what we call phenomenology is that it seeks to describe lived experiences of people. Its primary goal is to study of how people find their lives meaningful. Also, its primary goal is to make people understand their experiences about death of loved ones, care of handicapped persons, also to understand friendliness of people, and etc. In doing so, other people will likewise understand the meaning attached to their experience. Okay, those engaged in assisting people to manage their own lives properly often do this qualitative kind of research. Okay, so if you're going to use phenomenology type of qualitative research, you are going to know why there are people who are most likely to be friendly comparing to other people, parang ganon. Okay, and how these manifestations and how this phenomenon be applicable to their lived experiences or life experiences. Okay, the fourth one that you may use is what we call content and discourse analysis. So once you say content and discourse analysis in layman's term class, this type of qualitative research, it talks about the use of language. Again, content and discourse analysis talks about or merely focusing on the use of language. So the characteristics of content and discourse analysis, it is a method of qualitative research that requires an analysis or examination of the substance or content of the mode of communication used by a person, like for example, SMS, online messages, emails, audio-visual materials, etc. And how this affects in their ways of communication to other people. Again, content and discourse analysis fits perfectly if your research title or research topic merely talks about language. Okay? And the last type of qualitative research is what we call historical analysis. So once you say historical analysis class, from the word itself, you're going to dig deeper with the historical point of your problem, of your study. Okay, it is a study to understand the connection of past events to the present time, meaning to say that the central of historical analysis or type of qualitative research is that you're going to extract details from the past and how these events that happened in the past affect the present. Okay, that's what we call historical analysis, breaking down the historical perspective of your problem, of your study. Okay?
using Powtoon.
And that's all for now, and thank you for listening.